Yooosin. What's up, guys? We got a special game for you today. We got Hunt to Kill or Horror Blair Witch. It's essentially a subscription service. They give you box 1 through 6. Each individual board games that kind of lead off of each other to like one big climax. And this is box 1.
One big horror story.
He wanted me to say all of that.
Yeah. So let's jump right in, guys. What do you think?
Let's go into it.
Well, first, actually, they sent us an email, right?
Yeah. So I got that pulled up. Should we just let's
fuck it. Something about a podcast.
Yeah. So this is from Rosemary Kent. Rosemary at kentcase.com. It says, "Hello, detective. I need your help finding my son Liam. His case is complicated, so I won't try to explain everything just yet. The package I'm sending you should take care of that. It's going to take a while for everything to get to you, though, so I wanted to reach out and explain a few things while you wait. I live in a town with a long history of suspected supernatural phenomenon and equally long history of very real disappearances. To get a better sense of what you're in for, you should listen to this podcast, Super Neutral. It's a spinoff of one of my son's favorite shows, a ghost hunting kind of thing. The first time I heard this episode, I got a pit in my stomach that wouldn't leave for days. I can't believe they're roping my own case into these insane stories they're telling. I've also taken the liberty of signing you up for a few services that might help you in your investigation. One is the newsletter Super Neutral sends out. Sounds like they're going to be covering a lot of things related to local legends. Then there's the Burgettsville Good Fences feed, which is sort of a community notice board. You should receive all the urgent, high-traffic posts from the site. There's also our local museum's photo of the month newsletter, which is curated by my close friend Anthony. Each service will give you a better understanding of how our community behaves and reacts to our reputation. And once again, thank you. There's a lot to do, but having reached out to you, I feel like I've taken an important step in the right direction. More soon, Rosemary Kent."
Well, she did take a step in the right direction.
That's supposed to be like a spin-off of Supernatural, dude?
Is that
honestly,
I'm actually not hit the Supernatural.
I almost said Supernatural.
I'm stupid. I didn't even think about that.
Every single time I almost said Supernatural.
That's right.
All right, so we gotta listen to this podcast.
So we got a sketchy city and a detective on the case that obviously can't do it herself. She needs help from the Yooosin.
Welcome to Super Neutral, the bite-sized paranormal podcast that pits a believer, that's me, Ed Barrett,
against a skeptic, that's me, James Durant.
On this minisode, we're going to talk about the legend of the Blair Witch.
Right. Now this is interesting, because I only became aware of the Blair Witch a few years ago when you told me the story.
Really? That was the first time you'd heard the story?
Uh-huh. But before we get into it, maybe you should quickly explain exactly what the legend is.
Yeah, okay, sure. So, for those of you out there who don't know already, in a small town called Burgettsville out in Maryland, there's a story that stretches back over 200 years. They say that some local children accused an old woman of taking their blood. The townsfolk insisted that this woman was guilty of witchcraft. They tried her, found her guilty, and depending on who you believe, they either abandoned her in the woods or executed her by hanging.
And don't they say that she came back a year later to exact her revenge or something like that?
Yeah. She said to have returned to steal away those children that had accused her in the first place. Since then, basically, people in Burgettsville always blame the witch when someone goes missing, which, to be fair, seems to happen pretty frequently.
Yeah, just a few weeks ago, a terrible disappearance struck the town of Burgettsville.
Yeah, it was a teenager named Liam Kent. Horrible stuff. There's already a lot of speculation that the Blair Witch was to blame.
Okay, so should I just go ahead and assume you believe in the Blair Witch?
You can't argue with the stats, James. I showed you the list of disappearances in those woods. Children drowned in an inch of water. College kids going missing on a hike never to be seen again. It goes on and on.
I'll book the tickets right now.
No thanks. I'm just saying. There's a laundry list of people the witch has taken, you know?
So listen, I realize that I'm supposed to be the skeptic in all things here, but I have to admit, I found myself really getting into this story.
It's fascinating. There's so much to talk about in the legend of the Blair Witch. We'd need months to do it all justice.
Without a doubt. But Briefly, I have notes here about a serial killer from the 40s who blamed the witch for his murders. Stories of horrible rituals being conducted in the woods. It's all really fascinating. There's so many different terrible things people have tried to get away with by saying the witch made me do it.
If there are really that many awful things happening in Burgettsville, what makes you so sure that there isn't something evil causing it all to happen? Something, I don't know, as yet unexplained?
Well, for one thing...
By your own admission, a lot of people have gone missing there, right?
Well, hey, I'm glad you said that, because I looked it up. And according to recent data, you are no more likely to go missing in Burgettsville than really anywhere else in the United States.
Is that true?
I have it right here.
Huh. Well, this could mean a lot of things.
Such as?
Well, for starters, we know that there are other entities across the country that could explain the other disappearances, right? Bigfoot, the Bugman, things like that.
Well, I think that's about as good a place as any to wrap it up.
Come on, I'm serious.
Thanks for listening to this mini episode of Super Neutral. We hope you enjoyed this quick debate on the believability of the Blair Witch.
They say she's out there, protecting her woods. If you find yourself traveling to Burgettsville, Maryland to investigate the Blair Witch, the best piece of advice I've heard is this: don't go into the woods after dark.
So we'll see you in the next minisode, but until that time comes, it's safe to turn out the lights.
Or is it?
Damn, they did a really good job with that.
Yeah, so what are we not supposed to go in the woods? Is
Okay.
that what they're telling
I
us?
was gonna say, so let's not do that.
I know it's probably supposed to take more from that, but is it fucked up that the only part that I'm really remembering from that is that guy's laugh when he went...
That's all you were focused on? That's so funny.
All right,
Okay.
let's jump on in, guys.
Let's get in here.
All right, so we got these guys. I don't know. We need to hint. We don't need no hints. Get rid of that.
What kind of killing? Blah 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 blah. Something about taking notes. Blah blah blah. Refer a friend. Blah blah blah. All right.
We got
Lots of blah.
What we got here, bud?
a folder. We got some stuff.
Oh, some stuff.
What we got?
Oh, we got a bunch of
I'm
stuff.
feeling other stuff.
Oh.
We got some teeth.
What do you got?
neck.
A pen?
What?
Well,
Look at that.
if this is a necklace, that's fucked. I think it's a bracelet, maybe.
Can I have
It's
this?
a tooth.
You said, can I have? Can I just? You care if I just?
It's kind of
Okay. So.
Dude, I got a pen that.
So we have no
Black
fucking.
light pen.
We
Look
have
at
no
that.
fucking direction. You guys, what do you want? What do you guys want to dig into first?
Let's jump on in. Let's see.
We have a little. Look at this. You guys want to go to the Silver Moon Diner?
All right,
get
so
a,
we
get a meal. Okay, no. What'd you say?
That's pretty sick.
That's actually isn't that actually
cool
funny?
quality.
They put effort into the back of it.
We got
Okay.
a pen that doesn't write.
You said it doesn't, right? What? You can't click it out? Oh, spin and disconnect, motherfucker. Oh, what does it not come out? Okay.
Oh, look at it. It's coming out.
Oh. So it's
Nothing.
still not writing.
Nothing's
So
going
hopefully
on.
it's not just out of ink or something like that. All right. All right. Yeah. You want to get a close up on the cam for all this stuff? You want to let everybody see these goods?
Yeah, I'm getting
Here,
the
buddy.
Silver Moon
Here.
Diner going.
Go ahead. This is a whole entire. That's a police report. I think, right?
Yeah,
That's
we
what it
got.
looks
This is like a ton of pieces of paper.
Kind of in here. Go.
So is this
sure.
our introduction? I'll read it off.
Oh, is that okay? It gives us some direction at least.
From Rosemary.
And then, what do you got here? Show them this. I don't even know what this is.
This is
A
like
brochure?
when you go to like those travel places, like when you go on the side of the road, the rest stop places. When you go to like the rest stop and they have like the welcome to our city and state kind of
Okay.
thing.
And then this is hilarious. This is a fucking school incident report. That's hilarious. Here, move this box out the way. Move all this
This guy-
stuff out a little bit. Okay, and now,
We got a map.
dude, we got a full ass map, dude, with a whole shit ton of
See
numbers.
these?
Go ahead and put that towards
Get
the
a little
camera.
close up on those.
Oh
Some,
yeah, dude, those sick ass
bracelets, wristbands, necklaces. They got teeth. And then we got a little pen. You can't write on anything. Write on that. Try and give it a write.
What the hell is this?
But it's got a light on it.
Does it?
Well, I just opened it up. Did I kill it?
Oh shoot!
There's no way that just happened. Oh, there it goes. You got it to work. What is it? Just barely clicking on? There it is.
There it is.
There.
It's like a black light
It's a
almost.
black light. Okay, so where do we go? You have this introductory piece of paper.
I'm probably gonna, let's see. It's from Rosemary. All right.
You guys keep that. I don't want to break that.
I was gonna say, I think we may have already heard it. Okay, go ahead.
Hello. It's been weeks since I felt any sliver of hope, and frankly, I was starting to lose my mind a little before I found you. 4 months ago, my 15-year-old son, Liam, went missing. I'm not going to tell you that I've got a sixth sense or a gut feeling or a mother's intuition. I don't buy into all that, but I do believe he's out there and that he needs me. He needs us. He needs us, guys.
He needs
Yooosin. Yeah. All right.
Dude, you got a pipe? You got a pipe or a detective hat? Because I'm on. I want Liam.
One of those?
Yeah, dude.
Liam was always a sensitive kid, but he was devastated when his father passed away 4 years ago. Poor guy. He's been in a vulnerable place ever since. The sheriff told me that this sounds like a typical teenage runaway, but that can't be the case. I know Liam, and he cares too much about me and his younger brother, Tristan, to put us through this. He loves our dog, Tank. Dude, that's a good-ass name,
Dude, that better
Tank.
be a thick-ass pit bull.
Yeah, he's a Tank.
That's got to be a 200-pounder.
He loves our home. It took the Burgettsville Sheriff's Office less than a month to write Liam off as a lost case. And it took the rest of the town even less time to blame his disappearance on our ridiculous local superstition. Let me explain what I mean by that. This area is small and isolated, and the only thing that's ever made us worthy of any note is a long history of deaths and disappearances that stretch back to the 18th century town of Blair. So much genuine evil in the world, and the people choose to believe in the boogeyman. Since the people around here have decided that they're interested in fables over facts, I have to rely on you to get the truth. I'm sending you a few documents from the official investigation into Liam's disappearance, whatever help they may be, as well as a few things that may help you understand both Liam and this town a little bit better. I'm also sending everything I found laid out on Liam's desk the day he went missing. A magazine spread, his journal, and a pen that was placed inside of it.
Spread, right? Or was this?
Additionally, I'll be passing on...
fell out of it.
Additionally, I'll be passing on something that has made me fear the worst, despite myself. It's a bracelet that was given to Liam by his father. He never takes it off. We got a vague idea of Liam's movements on the day he went missing, but his trail goes cold in the early afternoon. Even though a few people saw him wandering around town, none of them knew exactly where he was going. I need you to find out where my son was going on the day of his disappearance. Finding that place is the best shot at discovering evidence that nobody else has looked over yet. As soon as you figured it out, contact me at kentcase.com. It's a personal site I've set up to keep tabs on Liam's case. The password is Burgettsville8. You should see a link to my tip line. Just type the name of the place Liam was headed there. I'll be sure to respond as soon as possible. Eagerly anticipating your findings, Rosemary Kent.
All right, Rosemary.
Let's keep her. Yeah, we gotta investigate here.
So the girl, she said something about the newspaper letter, that, and this. So let's hit all three of these first. I'm gonna go right into this. It looks like we have the Silver Moon Diner serving every delight morning and night. Okay. Burgettsville loses a friend. Local killed in forest accident by Aubrey Bird, the staff. Hudson William Kent, a carpenter and family man favorably known as HUD, died after an accidental tree fall Thursday. Kent was cutting timber in the Black Hills Forest with his 11-year-old son, Liam, when a tree began to fall at an unexpected angle, according to Rosemary Kent, his wife. Kent fell into the path of the collapsing tree as he pushed his son out of harm's way, according to Sheriff Lanning, who took Liam Kent's statement on the scene. This incident was as tragic as it was gruesome, Lanning said in the statement. We are heartbroken. The news of HUD's sudden and untimely passing has shaken us to our very foundation. Our love goes out to his wife and their young child, Liam and Tristan. Following in his stepfather's footsteps, Kent became a logger and a carpenter soon after graduating South Woodland Academy at the age of 18. Kent's craftsmanship can be admired in nearly every home and municipal structure in town. Kent was known amongst these close to him as a skilled craftsman with razor-sharp wit and an abiding love for his family. He loved making me little pendants and bracelets and writing me notes just to remind me how much he cared, Rosemary Kent said in the interview. He'd been doing that ever since I asked him out in junior year of high school. A funeral service is scheduled for 1 p.m. Sunday at St. Dimas Church on Main Street. Father Calvin Hobart will officiate. Damn, man, I'd take a second there. Flowers, donations, and condolences may be offered to the Kent family at Silver Moon Diner during a reception will be held immediately after the service. No viewing has been scheduled.
That's sad.
Right,
Blood,
dude. So he literally was pushed his son out the way and just crushed, and his son just watched him just get crushed.
Now his kid is
traumatized for life. Okay. So
see what's going on here, dude. Look at this. We got some puzzles.
Wait,
we got some notes.
What he taught me in case I forgot.
It looks like they're notes to Dad.
Okay. Well, you wanna read?
Look, we got a little picture here. We got tank, dude.
Oh my God, there's quite a bit.
You got tank in there? Is he a bulldog?
Is there tank?
No.
Oh, he's honestly kind of a thin boy.
Look at that. Look at tank. Get in there,
dude. It's not the tank I expected, but it's tank.
Yeah, that's tank. That's a tank if we ever had a tank.
I was gonna say that's a damn military tank if I've ever seen one.
I'm gonna chalk it up to the artist that he couldn't accurately draw.
He couldn't accurately depict tank.
Yeah, he couldn't accurately draw a pit bull, and that's what came out.
That's like a German Shepherd, guys. Come on. I have the German Shepherd.
I have a German Shepherd.
You said
he's great. All I'm saying is,
and she's not that.
Yeah, if you're gonna name your dog Tank, it's gotta be.
It's gotta be a tank.
Bulldog.
All right, so you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I'll jump in here. So first off, we got a little picture here. And then it's what he taught me in case I forgot.
And then
okay, and what? Some tic-tac-toe with
we
an
got
A?
like a little tic-tac-toe, yeah, with an A, but there's nothing.
Nothing, okay. So then go to...
I mean, like... Oh, I think our pen's busted, guys.
Oh, no. Did we get it busted on delivery?
Is there ink in that?
I say, well, it's ink and it wasn't...
Well, look at that.
What? We dissected the pen. We're like, why isn't it writing? Take it apart.
It looks like
maybe that's intentional. Dude.
Yeah, dude. Who knows?
It's not writing, but it's got ink.
It looks like there's pee in there.
So they took it apart. They put some pee in it, and they put it back together, and the pee doesn't write.
What about the black light? Does the black light heat
there
the
we
pee
go.
up?
Oh, okay. You got it to work.
Does the black light heat the pee up?
Does it heat the pee? What?
Like you know the Office when.
All right, let's.
There's no way.
See what you're saying? I should take a look. Let's
You're
see.
actually funny as hell for that.
Got nothing on the picture.
What's that?
Dude, so it writes in invisible ink?
Dude, that's what I just wrote.
You wrote two squigglies that look like nothing?
That's exactly what I just wrote.
Okay, dude. All right, so
Look at
the
that.
pen writes in invisible ink that can be seen by the black light. Okay, then...
Is there letters next to the A?
Dude!
Oh!
Okay.
So there's a whole... Oh,
Look at that.
Wait, what the fuck?
We got a...
Wait, so, okay,
so
that's the ABC.
we have A, B, C, D, dot, all the way to G, dot. And then underneath it, we got Z through T, dot.
So
is that a code?
So it's forward, dot, then backwards, dot. Like the ABC
A
is forward,
coordinates
and
to
then
Z.
dot. Oh, you're saying, okay. Well, if you, all right. Okay, so now we know. Let's see if that correlates.
We got A, B, C, so just in order here.
Wait, what's in the Z? Wasn't there another Tic Tac over here?
Dude, J, K, L, M, N, O, P,
Oh, no, there's
Q, R.
dots, dude. There's dots.
There's dots.
So there's little dots within these, but they weren't in this one, right? Go back to this one.
No.
Okay.
No dots.
Dude, that's actually sick, dude. The witch fucking
We got
wrote
more.
here, and it's actually like sick as fuck.
Z to Z T.
Oh, but this is like different though. This is like an X,
Y,
like
Z, and then X, Y, Z of dots.
Okay, so two of them have dots, two of them don't.
Should I look at the other pages before we read?
Like any of these? I don't know. Go ahead and scan it. Yeah, fuck it.
Let's read first.
Okay,
all right.
Whatever you want.
So starting at the top. Yesterday, Miss Tan gave me this notebook and said I should write to Dad. And then she sat there with a stupid, calm look on her face while I screamed at her about how dumb of an idea that was. I wish I hadn't done that. It wasn't right, and I wouldn't have made him proud. And then we got, Dad, you were always so squigglies, arrows, unhappy face. Nothing on the face.
Nothing. There's just a little teardrop on her
eye.
I'd be like, oh.
I'm really lonely without you, and I know how hard Mom is trying, and I know she misses you too. Last night, Tristan couldn't remember that thing he used to say to us all the time, and he started crying. I pulled him out of it, though. Helped him remember by making it a puzzle, just like how you would have. I think Tristan was too young to hold on to all that code stuff you taught us. The code stuff, dude.
The code stuff. Click. That's actually funny as hell.
Oh, there we go. The code stuff, right there.
Okay.
This game was supposed to be super scary, and I'm super sad on it.
Yeah, I'm actually about to start crying for Liam. All
right. But I remember, would it be good for passing notes in class if I had anyone to pass notes to?
Oh, he was a loser. No, I'm just kidding.
Why?
Are we the same person?
Man, don't be mean.
That's too funny. All right. I'm sorry, dude.
I'm fucking sad for this
That's
kid.
too funny.
He's got a tough life.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it was funny.
He said, please more. Encore. All right.
Dad, you used to tell the coolest stories about the woods. Mom used to make fun of you for believing in all that stuff. I don't know if you actually believed it, though. I think you just knew how fun it was. Time passes more easily out here, not slow and boring and lonely like at home or in school. So just a thought, there's a space between these things.
What? Space between what? Oh, you're talking about the space between the paragraphs? You're trying to see if there's which wrote in between, basically? She didn't know.
Yeah, like...
No, there's nothing.
Nothing. Well, keep trying that. Dad, Mom just sent me to my room. How does she think how old does she think I am? She doesn't treat Tristan's underlined. Okay. You have to remember that. Like this. And he's not even 10 yet. She said I upset Tristan, and then we all started fighting again. I don't know why I get like that. It's not like everything annoys me. I don't know.
Are the words "did it" underlined as well?
Well, there is an underline on the next one. Which,
Okay, send it then.
Oh, let's keep... Dad, the new kid didn't know anything about Burgettsville, so I took him by the forest and told him all about what happened. I showed him where the tree was and everything. For a second, I felt like I was going to throw up or cry or something, but then I saw how freaked out he was. ... And it suddenly seemed hilarious. Then I started laughing and he ran away. So lame. And he told on me. Told on me is underlined. Tristan told on me.
I called it.
So Tristan did it. Tristan has him,
bro.
Tristan. Yep, that's it. We got it. Exactly what I needed. Apparently, he told Miss Tan that he saw somebody watching us too. I said I didn't say anything. Dad. Well, there's some squigglies between that. Dad. Guess I shouldn't be surprised that nobody else is willing to talk to walk in the forest with me. At least Tank keeps me company in you in a way. And we got our nice little picture of Tank.
Ooh, that's sketchy as fuck.
It's not Tank, dude?
Dude,
it's Tank, man.
It's not the Tank.
It's a little weird.
No.
Look at this.
Last
he
started and just sketch.
So, next one, Dad. Gotta find out more about the forest. Mom can't know. She'll just do that deep, guilt-inducing sigh thing. And send me to my room like she always does. There's a bunch of stuff in town that I can look into, but I think I know exactly where to start. Some squigglies. Dad. I'm telling you, there's...
Right when you said, I'm telling you.
Look at that.
That's random bullshit.
Look at that little secret code we got going on.
Yeah, it's gotta be secret code, because that's
telling you.
bullshit.
Look at that!
Yeah, but it's still bullshit, though.
Because there's just awkward,
it's just letters.
three line spaces.
Okay.
Or like two, like...
But it is just...
But look at that, it's just...
jumbo, though. There's no actual words, right? There's no actual words in there? No, there isn't.
I mean, there's letters that
I was just gonna say,
words,
maybe
they don't coordinate at all.
Right, okay.
I can't believe how much stuff there is to go through down here. All crammed into those shelves you built when you renovated the place. Heading back tonight. So did his dad build something and he headed back? Like, what's going on there?
Right.
Dad, everybody leaves me alone down here. I can do whatever I want, even if I don't want to do anything at all. Not a bad place to spend the weekend, especially if I stop 2 doors down to grab something to eat first. Is the Silver Moon a place?
Yeah, grab that.
Silver Moon. Look at that. Silver Moon. 19.
How many doors down is he?
That's funny. That's here. Look at. There's a whole list of exact.
Especially if I stop 2 doors down to grab something to eat.
And which number is this Silver?
If I stop 2 doors down, Silver is 19.
So what do we got? 2 doors down.
8.
2 doors down is 8 and 13.
We got Burgettsville Sheriff's Office.
Yes, and
13.
The Queen's Auto Shop. And this is 1928, and the office is 1824. Okay, keep going.
Keep reading, but all of these have like a little code.
Yeah. So
which
go on.
Maybe I'm gonna have to.
This? Oh, there's a whole.
There's a whole entire code.
It's like a whole page
you
worth.
See that?
It's like a whole page worth. That's 1, 2. Like that's like 10, 15.
2 paragraphs, and it's just all over these pages.
Okay, so there's a shit ton of code.
Nose goes.
You said nose go.
I'm not doing it.
I
look at him right in the eyes.
I'm gonna have to probably get a pen because this one doesn't write.
Unless you're gonna write it in invisible.
Write it in invisible. Come on.
All right. Next.
Dad, nobody else knows I came here. It's always just business as usual upstairs. Not that they're ever busy. I take my time walking here through the woods and walking back. Business as usual. So
That sounds like the shop more than the police station, bro.
He's hanging out in somebody's basement that has business as usual going on upstairs. All right, write that down. Remember it.
Oh, I was gonna say I don't know about writing it down.
Yeah, I got the invisible.
I was gonna
pen
say
here.
that's the only writing utensil.
Dad, I finally figured out how to talk to him. He's an interesting person.
He's.
Not yet. That's true.
Blair
Witch is a she.
Yeah. He said he.
So is his dad like a ghost?
Is his dad?
Maybe
he did die in there.
Wait, isn't he talking to his dad? In this
but
letter?
He's talking to his dad and saying he.
Yeah, and these are letters to his dad. He's writing his thoughts.
And he's telling his dad that he. What?
What? All right, go ahead.
I finally figured out how to talk to him. He's an interesting person, if he's even a person at all. He knows things about you that he shouldn't have any way of knowing. It's getting a little creepy. And then we got Dad.
And then he went missing.
And then we got
And it gets even sadder.
And then someone right from behind knocked him out.
I bet you.
Oh wait! That's not writing. What is that?
That's
that the
Blair Witch symbol.
The Blair Witch logo.
Oh, I'm not hip to the Blair Witch logo. I didn't know that. I thought it was a couple X's. All right. Oh, there's more writing? So he did write to Dad. Okay. So then...
well, I'm going to try and figure out this code. I mean, It seems easy enough, right? Look we got A coordinates to Z, so...
But then even if you get that out and then we do the backwards alphabet that's accordingly, then what are these tic-tac-toes and the dots have to do with anything? What are the tic-tac-toes?
Well, there wasn't any dots, I don't think. Did you see any dots?
I guess you're right. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to work on it later.
So I'll work on this. You guys can read.
Okay. All right. So what do you want first? What do you want? You want the school or you want the police? You want the serious or the soft? What do you want? You want the soft?
Let me see the school
You want the soft? All right.
You don't know if it's soft. What
He said you don't know shit, man.
This is official. All right, this is an incident report from South Woodland Academy. His evaluator is Andrea Tan. It's his counselor. Earlier today, Liam entered into a physical altercation with another student. I told you he wasn't soft.
Dude,
in his grade in the hallway outside my office. This incident occurred during the interval between second and third periods at approximately 11:10 a.m. While I did not witness the beginning of this altercation, I did witness the aftermath of a punch Liam threw, which knocked his classmate to the ground. After I broke up the fight and asked the teacher to escort the other student into the nurse's office, I took Liam into my own office to discuss what had just occurred. To quote Liam, "I don't know why I hit him. He was just standing there, looking at his phone, and he started laughing at something. Before I even knew what I was doing..."
Crazy?
He could be. "Before I even knew what I was doing, my arm just moved on its own. I pushed him, then he pushed me back, so I hit him and he fell. He looked like such an idiot, with his blood coming out of his nose."
God damn.
Then you came in and stopped me from whatever I was going to do next, and now we're here.
You punch him in the face, he's on the ground. What the fuck? You're like, you fucking idiot. Look how stupid you look.
We got a code on the first page.
Oh.
I'm going straight in.
Alright, so what, you're going to go ahead and depict it right there? Okay, get into it then while John keeps reading.
Alright, so she made some additional comments as well. Per Liam's behavioral records, he has been actively alienating himself from children his age whom he used to consider friends since his father died, and he has not made much of an effort to foster new friendships. Liam prefers to spend his free time alone, staring off into the direction of the tree line or drawing. Liam, while quite a talented artist, has been fixated on his father's death and personal drawings. The few pieces of art I have observed have contained various versions of the same scenario. An unidentified person, who I can only assume to be Hudson, underneath a large tree. When Liam is present at school, he displays a markedly maladjusted attitude. On the occasions he does turn his work in, it is sloppy and half-completed, often devolving into doodles and drawings. Liam struggles socially, limiting his interactions with the other students to the bare minimum of what is required for group activities. Even when he does engage, he struggles to interact on both micro and macro levels, whether it be the completion of a large-scale task or simply listening to instructions. On the rare occasions I have been able to get Liam to open up, he has confessed a bit more about his personal coping strategies, namely that being around Hudson's work makes him feel close to his father. He tells me he often spends time outside of school in a building originally built in the 1920s, which his father renovated shortly before his death, although he will not dissolve.
What'd you just say?
He spends time outside of school in a building originally built in the 20s, which his father
built in the 20s.
So we know it's
Wait,
one of
Sheriff's
those two.
which place was built in the 20s?
No, sheriff's office is 20, but where's Salem? Where's Salem? 19?
Auto shop 20s.
Oh,
They're both in the 20s,
So
right?
one's 1820, one's 1920. So that's how they get in your head. So you don't know
did
which 20.
HUD build? Did he build the sheriffs? So they got a little
Hold on,
description.
wait, hold on. One's 1820 and one's 1920?
Yes.
His father's definitely not 100 years old, right?
Yeah, no, you're right.
So it's got to be the one from 1920, right?
Was he alive in 1929?
Run for over more than 50 years, McQueen's Auto Shop. So
Yeah, but it just said he worked on it. Did it say he built it?
Originally built in his... Oh, yeah, his father did renovate shortly. Okay, you're right. He didn't disclose the location.
The sheriff's office, originally the site of a makeshift prison and still home to numerous legal documents throughout the centuries. The Burgettsville Sheriff's Office has been a beacon of law and order for the town. It says nothing about working on it.
Okay.
Auto shop run for more than 50 years by the incorrigible Rickard Thunder McQueen. If you ever need to stop by.
What'd you say?
Rickard, dude.
Rickard.
That an H or a K?
No,
Okay.
it's a
Alright,
K.
I just want to make sure.
Rickard.
I just want to make sure.
If you ever need to stop by, be sure to
Hit up your boy
ask
Rick.
about ask Rickard about his collection of century-old photographs of historical Burgettsville. Neither of those say anything about him working on it.
Okay. But so what we do know, it's either one of those two buildings, and we now know that his father renovated it and that it was
Yes.
built in the 20s. However, we
Still-
don't know which one.
Yeah, we're still narrowing it down with all that information.
So, to finish this one off, however, I feel as though his closeness has done little to improve Liam's mental state. All of his problematic behaviors have significantly increased in frequency and severity in the recent weeks. Liam's actions have become increasingly worrisome both inside and outside social contexts. While this is the first time that Liam has acted violently toward another student, his lack of apparent guilt makes me worry that it will not be the last. Plan of action is, I will be increasing the frequency of my and Liam's one-on-one meetings to bi-monthly to weekly. I will also be in more frequent communication with Liam's mother regarding her son's progress. Additionally, I provided Liam with a journal and asked him to write out his feelings in a concrete way rather than revisiting the moment of his father's death. I suggested that he try to frame these entries as letters to Hudson himself, although Liam reacted to this statement with extreme negativity. I will be filing copies of this in all future reports with the principal's office in order to best monitor the situation. Signed by the counselor and his mom.
I just want to say, I think this code is working. This A equals Z backwards, forwards,
What is it actually
alphabet.
making fucking words over here?
I'm working on this one on the first page right here. You
Right.
see it?
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
It
Ooh,
sounds
yeah,
crazy, Dad, but I hope you.
Ooh.
I think we're getting somewhere. I'm going to keep working on it.
Alright, dude, keep getting it. Alright, now,
So
let's
we
get
got-
Johnny. Want me to dive into this?
This is done.
What is this? This is transcript. This is a transcript. Okay, this is a Burgettsville Sheriff's Office. At 2:30 p.m. on Tuesday, Sheriff West Landing addressed the township regarding the case of a missing local teenager. The full transcript is provided below. Sheriff Lanning. Good afternoon, everybody. As you all know, a 15-year-old boy named Liam Kent was reported missing by his mother 3 days ago. At this time, we are unable to confirm his last known whereabouts, but we have no reason to assume a crime has been committed. The press. This is Aubrey Bird with the Burgettsville Town Bugle. Sheriff Lanning, what do you have to say about the rumors that... Sheriff Lanning, there's crosstalk happening in the parentheses. Please, if there is time, I will take questions at the end of my statement. Search parties to locate Liam Kent have been mobilized, and we have already recovered one of the boy's personal effects, which was found by a civilian on the northern sidewalk of Main Street. We're taking that as a very positive sign. If you have any information that would be of interest of our investigation, please come forward. I must urge you, however, not to use this opportunity to contribute to the spread of dangerous rumors and hearsay. I will now take questions. Miss Bird? The press. Now, some people are wondering if the case is being considered in relation to many of the previous disappearances that have historically been attributed to ... Sheriff Lanning. More crosstalk is happening. You're correct in pointing out that Burgettsville, as a community, has endured its fair share of incidents like this, and so I say this with full knowledge of what many of you must be thinking, even if you have a good sense not to say it out loud. It is of the utmost importance that we keep ourselves calm, collected, and above all else, logical. I will not entertain any suggestions involving outdated superstitions, especially not when the case in front of us appears to be perfectly cut and dry already. Do not contact my office to provide details that might distract you from the matter at hand. If we are able to keep our heads level, I'm confident that we're able to locate Liam Kent and return him home. Thank you. And in the press, Sheriff, if I may, the former Sheriff Lanning, that is to say, your uncle, apologies. I'm not quite sure how to phrase this. The former Sheriff Lanning led several high-profile searches in the 90s. How similar do you think that the search for Liam Kent will be to the investigation, considering that, ... Sheriff Lanning, with more crosstalk. Thank you. That is all the time I have. Please address my office with any further questions. End of transcript. Okay.
So I finished the first thing.
I just dropped this one.
And finished the second thing.
Okay, so that was some shit.
So page 1, the hidden code. Sounds crazy, Dad, but I hope you're still out there somewhere. That's at the very end.
Okay.
And then we got the one where he took that kid out to the forest, right? And the kid ran off.
Right.
And he wrote in secret, "It's not just me."
Ooh, where was that?
Right here.
It's just me. Ooh, is there any over here or no?
No,
Not
but
on the
there
left
might
side?
be. Hang on. Do you see that?
They put the fucking witch and invisible ink in the picture, dude.
The pup.
Dude, can you show the camera that? Can the camera see that, do you think? With the black light, dude?
That's fucking creepy,
Dude,
man.
that's sick as fuck. Here, try to show that, John. Try to show that. That's sick as fuck, dude.
Whoa.
Okay.
What's next? What do we got, guys?
This looks like these are a bunch of interviews from the sheriff's department. So let's go through. This is with his mom. Rosemary, I can't believe this is happening. I'm sorry. I know that I said I was ready, but how could anyone ever be ready to do something like this? Sheriff, we can try to do this later if you'd like, Mrs. Kent. No, it's fine. I'm fine. Let's just get this over with. I went to work before Liam or Tristan woke up. Shelly called me real early, said that she was sick, and asked if I could come cover her morning shift. That's Shelly Frost. Thank you. Everyone at the Silver Moon is really good at that. I get the feeling they all call me before anyone else, ever since HUD. But I remember I woke up, left a note, and went back to work. What was on the note? Just telling the boys that I went to work, when I'd be back to heat up some leftovers for dinner. I always put it on a sticky note right in the middle of the television. That way I know they'll see it. Tell me what happened next. I saw Liam in the afternoon. I don't remember exactly when. It was during the lunch rush, which is usually between 12:30 and 2. I asked him where Tristan was, and he said at home. Hank, our line cook, told me I was being paranoid, that Tristan was getting...
He's a little cook.
That Tristan was getting old enough to be on his own. Hank's kind of old-fashioned, a rub some dirt in it kind of guy. Either way, he's made up 2 sandwiches. Peanut butter and jelly for Tristan, and tuna for Liam. That's fucking gross.
That is real gross.
Liam took them home for Tristan for lunch, or I guess I thought he did. When I got home a little after 9, he wasn't there. All Tristan had eaten all day was a bowl of cereal and an orange. I looked everywhere for Liam, but I couldn't find him anywhere. I looked everywhere in the house, all over town, and then I had to call you. I couldn't think of what else to do. Do you remember what Liam was wearing when you saw him at the Silver Moon? Let me think. He was in a black shirt for sure. Most of his clothes are black. And a large denim jacket and a beanie. I remember that he was carrying his backpack, which was a little strange because it wasn't a school day. I still can't really believe that any of this is happening. I feel numb all over. You'll find him, won't you, Wes? I'll do everything in my power to, Rosemary. And that's the end of this one. And then,
I think I'm getting somewhere. This next code, which is after the creepy guy and the tree. He used to stay far away in the tree line, but...
Oh, so
he knows about this guy.
Right, so it's just that this guy to us so far. He's still just he. He's still just he to us. We don't know
Let
who
me
that
keep
is.
going. Let me see if there's some more.
Okay. And then for you, what? You never had a tuna sandwich?
You like tuna?
I mean, I'm not saying it's my favorite. I'm saying that I've eaten a tuna sandwich before. Is what I'm saying.
Stuff's gross.
I've had it, yeah.
Okay, and you just think it's just what, the worst thing ever?
Tuna?
I mean.
You want to make the rest of this about how much I hate tuna?
Read the thing.
All right, so Tristan, his brother, he's got an interview. His mother's present because he's a minor. It starts with the sheriff saying, Okay, Tristan, just take your time and tell me everything you remember about the last day you saw your brother. Tell me about the whole day, even if you think something may not be important. You never know what can be useful. Tristan, yesterday Liam got up later than he normally does. I'm usually up before him, and Mom tells me I always have to be quiet because Liam's sleeping. So usually I take Tank, that's our dog, and play outside. But yesterday Mom had to go to work early. She left us a note like she always does when she leaves. So, Wes, what is it, Tristan? Tristan, so I did something, but I know I'm going to get in trouble for it. Rosemary, there's nothing you can get in trouble for, sweetheart. Just tell Sheriff Lanning everything you know. Tristan, alright, well, since nobody was there, I watched a Supernatural marathon on TV. Rosemary, oh Jesus, Tristan, that's okay, honey. Tristan, my mom says it's a scary show because it's about ghosts and monsters. I'm not supposed to watch it, but I think the guys that host it are funny. I watched it really quiet so I wouldn't wake Liam up. After an episode was over, I asked Liam if he wanted to do something, and he was like, no way, skunk. That's what he calls me sometimes, a skunk. He thinks I don't like it, which is why he does it, but I do like it. Wes, what happened next?
Skunk.
Smelly boy.
Smelly boy. Tristan, so he said, no way, skunk, and said he was going to go do some stuff. He likes to be alone a lot, but I knew he was going to bring back lunch, which is usually what he does when he goes on long walks like that. So I watched some more Supernatural and waited for him to come back. But he didn't come home after that. I had an orange for lunch. Where do you think he went? Next one is with Father Calvin Hobart.
Ooh, as we read about him, he wrote one of those things, didn't he? I remember hearing
Hobart?
that name. I remember even hearing the name Hobart.
He was the
wrote
officiant,
something.
dude.
Yeah, he wrote something in one of those. Okay.
At the sheriff department.
Okay, yeah, no, you're right. As long as we, okay.
Something. Alright, so Wes says, go ahead, Father. And then he says, yes, I do remember seeing Liam on that day. I was out back behind the church tending to the cemetery, which I typically do every Saturday around 3:30. Sometimes some of the kids from the high school hang out back there. They always leave cigarette butts and beer bottles, which obviously I'm not happy about, but I'd rather them be hooligans in the cemetery than go out and drive somewhere and potentially hurt themselves or someone else. Go on. So I saw Liam while I was cleaning up all the trash. He left some of his own, the crust of a peanut butter sandwich, very wasteful. Regardless, Liam was out past the graveyard standing just on the edge of the woods and looking in. I don't know how long he was out there before I saw him, but he stood like that for a moment before seeming to lose interest, and then he moved along and walked away down Main Street. But the whole time he was looking over his shoulder, not at me, mind you, but at the forest. So hold on. So where's the church?
By the way,
So the church is right here. So he was back here. He was back here behind the church, behind 4.
he's dropping stuff off at the graveyard. Did I hear that?
No, it's 17.
Yeah.
What's 4? Because 4 is this. 17 is the church. 4 is Burgettsville Cemetery. So
Which is,
cemetery.
it's the same thing.
Yeah, same
So
thing.
he's being a creepy.
So
little
he's
guy
behind the
hanging in the
cemetery, not behind the church. He's
And
right
he's
here.
been staring into the
Cemetery.
tree line.
Yeah, he's right here.
And
Well,
then,
speaking of tree lines, new code. He used to stay far away in the tree line, but lately he's been getting almost close enough for me to make out face.
Oh.
so something's coming out of the woods at him, and it was over here.
And he's just staring.
And
And he's making out his
and
face.
it was 2 doors down from the Silver Moon, right?
So it's got to be this way, right? Because then he's here.
I'm thinking it's
Is it the
right
sheriff's?
here.
That's where he's hanging.
But then either way, no, 2
Is
doors
that it?
down, it could.
Yeah, I'm thinking
If you went
sheriff's-
2 doors down, that could kind of be the cemetery. It's kind of behind, but I see what you're saying. 2 doors or 2 doors.
I don't know if it coordinates, but I'm on the next code, and I'm 2 words in. I looped.
Okay, you gotta finish that up then, because you find out where he looped. That's gonna
Yeah,
literally
you
sell
finish
his
that
tail.
up. We'll read the
That'll
next.
sell where he goes.
Yeah,
okay.
we'll read the next thing. You finish that up.
Okay,
Alright.
we get some vocal info and we get some code info.
Alright, so we got an interview with Harriet Gillard. I have no idea who she is, but she's seen some stuff.
Seen some
She's
things.
seen it.
Wes, tell me exactly what you saw, Miss Gillard, in chronological order, please. Harriet, thank you for seeing me, Sheriff. Yes, I first saw Liam when I came into the Silver Moon. The Silver Moon is allowing you back in now? I'm not going to have to come down there for another complaint, am I? Damn, she's a Karen.
How's it, man's? Is it drunken?
That thing with the mustard is just a misunderstanding.
Just with the mustard.
I don't
I
know.
was just saying, do we have a tip off of what that is, or is that just some weird misunderstanding?
Nah, she just did some weird shit with the mustard. It's all good.
Sounds raunchy, man. All right.
Anyway, I seen Liam. He came inside, looked protrude. Hank made him a couple sandwiches after he talked to his mother, and the kid left. Did Liam say anything to you when you saw him? We had a little conversation. He started, "Hello, Miss Gillard," and finished it with, "Goodbye, Miss Gillard." What did you two talk about? Nothing really, and not for very long. I asked him how his day was going, and he said not well, but that hopefully would be better after he finished his research. I asked him what kind of teacher assigned him homework over a beautiful weekend like this one, and he just said goodbye and walked away. He seemed a little high-strung. He just kept fiddling with his bracelet so much I worried he'd tear it clean off his wrist. Alright, Harriet, is that all? No, actually. I saw him again a few hours later just for a second. I was buying food stamps around... I was buying some stamps around 4, and I saw him walking...
Yeah, the EBT, boy. EBT card. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's how you know where we're from. I was buying some stamps around 4, and I saw him walking on the other side of the street. He looked a bit grim, if you ask me, hunched over. I must have assumed that he was walking home, but I suppose that wasn't the case after all, was it? Then when I finished up and walked across the street to my car, I noticed something on the ground. It was the same bracelet I'd seen Liam wearing earlier. It must have fallen off when he was walking. That's that.
That's these.
Did you take the bracelet or leave it there? I took it. I meant to give it back to his mother the next time I see her. It's right here. Thank you for your cooperation, Miss Gillard.
So he took it.
Yeah.
So he had this one of them in his pocket during this interview.
So, and then she said that
when the kid went missing, they're talking about the kid went missing and everything that happened on that day, and he's saying on that day.
They have a post office somewhere, or somewhere you would buy stamps at.
Let's take a look. Stamps. You don't buy stamps at a library.
Post office. What are we getting at?
Post office. Is that around? Okay.
7.
So
Wait, what'd you say about the stamps?
She was buying stamps when she saw him later, and he was down here. And originally she saw him at the Silver Moon.
Yeah.
So he had to have, and he had the sandwiches.
So she was
when he
buying
went to
stamps?
Silver Moon.
She was on 7.
Yes, and he had the sandwiches when he was at the cemetery. So he went to Silver
Yeah, he
Moon.
went to the diner.
And he went there.
Okay, well, I don't have it finished, but I looped around back through the forest and snuck in the basement through a back win.
So he is looping back around.
Okay.
Because he's right here. So I'm guessing he's
So
got
we're in
to come
clarification.
back down.
This, he comes around back. He's here. He come around here, and girl must have seen him, and that's where we're at in the story right here.
Yep.
Okay.
So where he went like this, and
Yep.
we got him to right here.
Yep. And now the girl's seeing him down the street.
Well, yeah, no, she's seen him around here, I think.
So
right?
he went like this.
Yeah, she's seen him
Why
right
did he
around
go
here.
like this?
I'm thinking that he went. So he started here, went to 8, and then went down around 7, and then probably went back.
Yeah,
she's saying that
he
she
wasn't
saw
at
his
7.
brain, and she. No, I'm thinking
He's
he
saying
was.
7 seen him.
No, I'm saying he was because she found his bracelet at 7.
Oh, she found his bracelet at 7.
Yeah,
so he
yeah.
stopped at
He
7.
dropped it
So
off.
yeah, so he
So he
probably
stopped
might
at
have
7.
even done a loop around the whole thing, maybe this loop or something. But he definitely came here and looped back.
Okay.
Let me keep going here. See where
Both of you guys got more, right?
Yeah, I got a few more. Clementine Lidwell is our next interviewee. West hits her with the "Okay, Mrs. Lidwell. Just tell me everything you remember about seeing Liam on that Saturday. There's no such thing as an unimportant detail." Yes, sir. We were actually quite crowded that day, but I still remember seeing him because I made him finish his tuna sandwich before he came inside. So fucking nasty. Bet you it was hot too. Ron, fish in a library. Can you imagine? Yeah, actually. And of course, because of the altercation he got into. Liam came into the library like he often does, very quiet, never needs help, even in finding the most obscure reference material. It was right around after story hour ended, so it must have been around 4 o'clock. So this is the library.
Yeah, so he said 4 o'clock, so it was 3:30. He was behind the cemetery. It took him a half hour to wrap around and do what at 4?
He's at the library.
He's at... Okay, let's find where the library is at, Doug. The library is number... Damn it, I wish I had it ready.
16.
Wow, I passed it. 16. So, boom.
So he did go this way.
So, yeah, he had to have wrapped this way. Because when he was here, 7 can see him down the road from here. So that could have been it. 7.
Well, he could have even walked down to 7.
Yeah, he could have. Either way.
I think he walked down to 7 because she got his bracelet.
Oh, yeah, he does. I keep forgetting about that. No, if he dropped the bracelet, he did go down to 7.
He didn't just toss it from
Yeah, he actually did this. And then... Alright.
I finished that note. I looped around back through the forest and stuck into the basement through a back window so that I wouldn't get back to Mom.
Ooh, I don't like that. That's actually kind of sketch. What do you have more? How much more you got, bud?
I got this whole page
Holy
and
shit.
this big guy with our logo, the Blair Witch logo. That is a little creepy.
Yeah, that actually is fucking... It actually looks like a crucifix or some shit. It looks fucked up, actually. Alright, go ahead.
Alright, so we're going back to it. Liam read for a little while on his own, and then another boy came in. I'm not quite sure of his name. One of the kids who only ever comes in to find books for their summer reading, you know? But always a month too late. No, I don't have any more copies of the Scarlet Letter. Every other kid in town already has a copy out or on hold. It's been a while since I've done a book report, Miss Lidwell. Of course. Anyway, Liam and this boy, they had an altercation and Liam left. Tell me about this altercation. I couldn't hear their words exactly, but I think that Liam instigated it. The other boy looked like he was asking Liam something benign. Liam snapped back at him, which caused the other boy to raise his voice. I think he called Liam a freak or something like that. Within seconds, their fight escalated to shouting, and Liam threw his book at the other boy. It was a compilation of topographical surveys on the area, which is quite bulky. Did you know that every major survey of this area has yielded vastly different results from one another? No two people can quite agree on an accurate map, although there are certainly those that experts consider to be closer than reality than others. It's quite a fascinating little mystery. West. Very interesting, Miss Lidwell, but not relevant to this investigation. Of course, right. After that, I reprimanded them both. We did what we usually do when children misbehave in the library. We did what we usually do when children misbehave in the library. Had them leave for the rest of the day, cool their jets, you know, and come back tomorrow. The other boy refused at first, probably out of stubbornness. You know how kids are. Liam, though, left peacefully. He was so angry seconds earlier, but he was suddenly so calm. I don't know where he went, but I remember seeing him turning left and walking down the street that way. So left from the library would be...
Wait, as we walked this way and made a left.
She's saying, I remember seeing him turning left and walking down the street that way. And then Wes says, all right, you've been very helpful. Thank you for your time. She says, Sheriff, I know it's a little uncalled.
So if he came up and then... Look, if he came down here and then came up and made a left, he can go left back that way. But if he came this way and made a left, that's this way. But if he came out this way and made a left, he can go down that way.
I don't know. Let's keep reading.
All right.
She says, everyone in my book club will be furious at me if I don't ask. Have you been looking in the forest? With everything that's happened in the past, don't you think that something unnatural may have happened to the boy? To answer the first part of your question, we are mounting search parties of the immediate area, as is typical for an investigation of this sort. I won't entertain the second part. With all due respect, almost everyone who lives around here has had something happen to them in the forest there's no earthly explanation for. Once when I was walking around the very edge of the forest, I could swear that I saw a tall figure watching me. I got so scared that I tripped and fell down the hill. It nearly broke my neck and killed me. Have a great day now, Miss Lidwell.
That's the last thing he said?
Yeah, kind of like
just broke my neck. Have a great day.
Alright, get the fuck out of here.
Almost broke my neck. Nice to talk to you. Alright,
so she didn't. I feel like she didn't really tell us much besides like he went.
Yeah,
there
everything that we
and
talked
he turned
about.
left and
Yeah.
he got into another fight.
So we gotta find out what way he was turning left, but we'll figure more about that.
Yeah.
And then we're down to just the brochure.
Well, we got one more interview. It's only a page.
Oh, okay, go in.
Alright, so we got Anthony Rapinoe. Mr. Rapinoe, I know that you're a family friend of the Kents. Yes, I've known Liam and Tristan their whole lives, and their parents as well. I grew up with Rosemary and Hud. I was their best man at their wedding. Did you happen to see Liam at all that day? Yes, very briefly. He passed by the front door right before I ate lunch, meaning that it would be a bit before 1. He waved to me, but didn't stop to talk. I assumed he was heading toward the Silver Moon. And you didn't see him anywhere else around town? I'm scheduled at the History Museum through pretty much the entire weekend, since those are our peak attendance days. Although, of course, peak is relative. And he didn't enter your building on the day in question at all? He didn't. How can you be certain? Sheriff, it's the Burgettsville History Museum. It's not exactly the most popping place. Most of the time, I'm in there all day, surrounded by yellowing books and clothing that belong to someone's long-dead relative. Even when nobody comes in all day, I sometimes feel like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. I feel like there's a presence somewhere, lurking right around the corner or underneath the floorboards. Sometimes I hear things, like murmuring that I can't really make out. Did you hear any of these things on the day of Liam's disappearance? Well, no. Mr. Rapinoe, the first 72 hours are critical in a situation like this. I'm not about to spend any of them checking the History Museum's creaky floorboards for you. Thank you for your time.
Hey, he told him he just dismissed him? Oh, damn.
The sheriff's kind of a dick.
I was going to say, the sheriff was like, hey, anybody got any good ideas? Hey, you in the back. You got an idea? Fuck off. All right. So all we have left to read is, I guess besides Brandon's code, is this little brochure. I'm just going to give you guys everything. Legends never die in the witch's woods. A dossier of mysterious deaths and disappearances in the Black Hills Forest by Ed Brett. It was in the winter of 1785, back when the sleepy Maryland town of Burgettsville was still known as Blair. When a group of local children first told their story, they claimed an old woman who lived in the forest edge had beckoned them to follow her back to her cottage. Upon luring the children to her home, the woman pricked their fingers with a needle, collecting their blood in bowls made of stone. In the minds of the townsfolk of Blair, there was no clearer sign of witchcraft. Some stories claim that the townsfolk merely ran the old woman out of Blair to live out the rest of her lonely days in the nearby Black Hills Forest. Other stories claim that the citizens of Blair went much further than mere banishment. And then we got a few quotes here. You guys want the quotes? You guys want everything? The way this is by Chelsea Traeger Brown, the teacher at the Southwood Academy School. The way my grandfather told me the story, the people of Blair pummeled her with rocks. Once their thirst for revenge was sated, some of the men dragged her out into the forest and left her there, tied to a tree. Holy shit. Nearly a year after the execution, during a winter far more bitter and cold than the one previous, the residents of Blair woke up to find half the town's children had vanished in the night. Among their numbers were all those whose parents' accusations had led to the suppressed witch's death. But did she die? Can a legend ever truly die? While the story of Blair Witches stretches back over 200 years, her legacy continued far past the moment of her supposed death and persists to this very day. And then we got like some cool little some information with the picture of the woods in the background. It looks like a quote from the local historian. Unfortunately, a lot of information about the search party has been lost to time. Many of them were workers at a nearby sawmill, which had many names over its long and troubled tenure in the region, but which has long since burned down, taking hundreds of invaluable records with it. All right. We got a bit here. The next high-profile sighting of the Blair Witch would occur in 1825, when witnesses claimed to have seen the pale hand of an old woman reach out of the water of a local creek to drag a helpless girl under the surface. The girl was presumed to have drowned, but her body was never recovered. Yet another child is reported missing in 1886. This victim was miraculously recovered from the Black Hills Forest by the second search party sent after her. However, the men who made up the child's first search party were not as fortunate. They were found tied together and stabbed to death on a large rock at the creek's edge. The identity of the killer was never discovered. The witch seemed to lie dormant for over 60 years after the incident at the rock. However, tragedy would eventually strike the area once more when an eccentric hermit who made his home to the Black Hills Forest confessed to the kidnapping of 8 children and the murder of 7, claiming that the voice of an old woman had urged him to commit these crimes. Was this a man a cold-blooded killer, or could he have truly been compelled to kill by the Blair Witch herself? Then in October 1994, 3 student filmmakers disappeared in the woods near Burgettsville while shooting a documentary. While their footage was recovered, the students themselves remain missing till this day. Merely 2 years after the student's disappearance, a young boy is believed to have been abducted and taken into the Black Hills Forest. This search party would not emerge unscathed, or without grim and mysterious stories of their own to tell. While many locals still insist on the existence of the witch, some believe that a dangerous drifter is responsible for most of the recent cases. And then here's the historian again. That particular case hits closer to home for me than most of the gruesome incidents that haunt this town's history. Since I was in high school when it happened, an interesting fact: hikers often found strange carvings on many of the forest's older trees for months after the case was closed. However, sightings of these carvings eventually died down. Isn't that strange? Shouldn't carvings on a tree trunk have been more permanent than that?
I just want to say, this is getting a little creepy.
You want me to finish, or you got some more juice?
I'm not finished with this one, but Dad, found something of yours while I was walking through the forest on my way to the basement. I almost stepped on it. It was right on the path. After I read it, I looked up and he was right there. Before I could say, and then I'm still going.
What? He was right there. Holy shit. Okay.
Get a
Okay.
little creepy.
I got a little bit more juice on the back of here. All right, and on the back of here, we got Elliot Coulson, lifelong Burgettsville resident and former hiking enthusiast. I saw symbols clear as day on the trunk of a big white tree, smack dab in the middle of the forest. Looked like wide open eyes and screaming mouths, all jumbled up together. When I tried to show the tree to my wife, I couldn't find my way back to it, even though I hadn't gone more than 10 feet away. I stopped going into the forest altogether pretty soon after that. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched by the carver. Ooh.
Watched by the carver.
Watched by the carver.
Who's the carver?
That's the hash slinging slasher. You don't know who he is.
Slinging slasher.
While uncertainty clouds the region's present and mysterious haunts its past, one thing is and always has been certain. The Black Hills Forest is a region afflicted by trauma of those who have vanished there and perhaps by the creatures who have took them as well. Dun, dun, dun. Okay.
So we've read
All right.
everything.
So I think we have... Wait, I might put this over here.
We have everything read besides...
We're done with that now. B, you got a little bit left of that, right?
Yeah, I got just a tad bit more to go.
Okay.
Good luck, B.
Good luck, thanks.
So, all right, so that's it on episode of Yooosin. We're going to go ahead.
One eternity later.
So sorry, guys. I know it took me forever as that last little bit you can see figuring out all this code, but getting into the story, it's actually getting real creepy. So I'm just going to jump right in and read off what I found out. So we'll start here. I looped around back through the forest and snuck into the basement through a back window so that it wouldn't get back to Mom.
Ooh.
Dad found something of yours while I was walking through the forest on my way to the basement. I almost stepped on it. It was right on the path. After I read it, I looked up and he was right there. I don't know what to think on that, guys. That's pretty fucking creepy. Before I could say or do anything, he just smiled and walked away. I have no idea how he found your note or how he knew to give it to me, but I'm glad he did. I haven't seen him again, but I found a few other notes in the woods. It looks like he likes codes too.
Ooh.
He told me what your last words were. He told me what your last thoughts were. That's
so
nice.
sketch. So
Yeah,
that's someone
man.
talking about his dad, I think.
Yeah, he knows some information he
knows.
shouldn't. And then the very last one. I'm going back on Saturday, but I might not be home for a while. He made me a promise. We're all going to be together again soon. Wish me luck.
What the fuck? Oh, he said, I'm going to kill you and you be with your father.
Yeah, that's what he said. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure.
Okay.
So,
All right,
let's put the pieces together here, guys.
show everybody what we know.
Where I was doing the coding, so like where he was at the graveyard, and he did one of these. What else did he do?
Can you be my pointer, Al?
I know for sure he started at the cemetery.
No, he started at the Silver Moon at the diner.
Oh, no, you're right. He
And
got the sandwich.
Yeah.
And then he made
And
his
he
way
went like this, ate some sandwiches,
through the crust.
threw it on the ground, made the priest mad.
And then he made his way down to 7.
Did a little loop, did one of these, went through the forest, made his way to
7.
So he went down the street.
Yep, and that's where the bracelet was.
Okay, so
Found
this
the bracelet.
this bracelet was dropped right there.
Yep.
And she found it.
And then the next sighting with him was at the library, which is right across the street, I believe.
Make sure about
The
that.
library's 16.
16. It's
So,
here.
yeah, right
Yes,
across the
it's-
street.
yeah.
Then he goes.
And
He
went
goes like
left.
this.
And
he
when he
comes
left
back.
the library, he went left.
So if he left the library and made a left, he could have came here. Or he left the library and made a left and went that way.
He left the
Well,
library.
left is that way. So he definitely went that way.
It's-
Oh, if he left and
physically
made a left,
went
and he went this way. Okay, I get what you're saying. Fuck yeah. Then he
Yeah, I'm
definitely
just
came out and made
connecting
a
the
left.
dots in my own head. Didn't you say something about a white tree, Al?
No, for sure. Yeah, no, I definitely
What's
said
that?
something about a white tree.
And he was heading left.
Yeah. Brochure says there was carvings on big white tree, blah, 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 blah. Tree, carving should have been there longer, but they went
If
away.
you look on the map, there is a singular white tree.
Okay, so he's definitely walking towards the white tree. That seems like some dots. Okay, do we have anything else on where he was at, or was that all we got?
Well,
So
okay.
he was walking left. He was 2 doors down from the Silver Moon.
Yes.
Yeah, so we know it's either
2.
8.
He's either this or this. So that would put him at
Well,
8 or 13.
I would say 13. If he went left, it's got to be 13. Right?
Here's
What's
my
13?
thoughts. He was at the library, right?
Right.
Yeah.
This is all one building.
Is it? This looks like a house. This looks like an auto building.
No, it is all one
What's
building.
2 and 12?
2 and 12?
Andy's Cafe or Patrick's Bar. Neither of those sound
No,
right.
12 is Main Street Grocer.
What about the library?
That's 16.
The library was made in the 20s.
That 20s
Originally
matters.
the estate of the wealthy, childless, and notoriously reclusive widow propriety good neighbor. This building was refurbished and reopened as the town's library after good neighbor's sudden death.
Dude, so reworked on his pops
2
reopened
doors
it.
down.
His pops worked on it too.
Alright, so what's that place?
Are we talking? So what? You guys want library? You want 16? What's the real name?
My bet is either the White Tree or it's the library.
I was honestly leaning towards the White Tree, but you guys just said that, and that seems to make more sense because the White Tree isn't an actual.
In his in journal things, he said a basement, didn't he? He went. Into
He did. He snuck through the basement.
Tree, so it's
Right.
got to be what is this?
Yeah. Plus the tree isn't.
But then the
isn't-
guy
it
gets
isn't a
sucked
number.
in by the tree or something, and then he came back and the tree was gone. Maybe the tree. Let's
I don't
try
think
them both.
I don't think they said he got sucked in, but they said some weird
Remember
shit
the website?
happened.
I have the email. That
Dude, so we're
Okay.
going to the email. We're going to go fucking. We're going to go tell her.
We know where he's at.
Dude, I'm fucking.
He's
lit.
in the
All
White
right.
Tree.
He's in the White Tree.
All right. Okay. So what are we putting? Are we putting White Tree in?
Let's try the White Tree.
Like I said, I definitely think White Tree, but if they want an actual location on the map,
You give us
go
the
White Tree. See what she
All
says. Go White Tree. Because
The
that seems
message
the
has
most
been
sketchy.
sent.
Okay.
And I got a message back already.
Dude, it's
All
an
right.
instant response, dude.
Are you sure about that? That building doesn't seem very likely to me.
That building.
There's a fair amount of foot traffic there. So I don't.
That building.
She said you should keep looking. I'll send you an audio message if you're onto something.
Okay, so.
Okay, so what? So
The
16.
Do I
So
type in the
16?
whole name?
You
Type
play
in
prior.
proprietary.
Yeah.
What?
PROP
Okay.
RI
I'm glad you got this upside down.
Proprietary?
Yeah.
This is reading fucking
Alright.
code for me.
Good neighbor
Good neighbor.
library.
Libri.
Spell that guy right.
He said, please don't do that.
Alright, message sent.
Message sent. Dude, I love how it pops up like active feed. Are you sure about that? Oh no, it's the same response.
Did you spell it
Ooh.
right?
I don't know. I might have spelled it wrong.
One of the first letter was undercased. I don't know if that matters though.
PROPRIETY space good NEIGHBOR space LIBR.
Well, maybe it just wasn't the right building.
ARY.
Maybe it just flat out wasn't right. I don't know, man. Because I mean, that's the only thing we thought though was the White Tree or the 16 though. Besides that, we're gonna have to.
This has
really
gotta
go,
be it.
We're gonna have to really go on some guessing shit. Are you
No,
sure about
she
that?
said
The
it's
building
all
doesn't
right.
seem very likely. Okay. So,
Just try the library.
Yeah, I'm gonna type in library.
well, I mean, that's what we just did, right? We just did
I
something
did it
good
more
for library.
formally, I guess.
We did. But I feel like.
Yo, she's really fast about getting down.
Are you sure about that? Yeah, no, it's not the library.
Alright, so 2 doors down.
1, 2 would put us at 13. Or the sheriff.
What is 13?
13 is the auto shop. What we originally thought in the very beginning, but then we kind of started to rule out about halfway through. But it wasn't impossible. They made weird comments about this.
Here's my question.
What other buildings did they mention? at
No.
all?
Here's my question.
What's up?
So he left the library, right?
Yes.
Made a left,
Yes.
right, John?
Correct.
Made a left, and he was heading back towards the tree. So that would put us at 2, 12, 9, 7, or 6. So let's look over those real quick. 2 is Andy's Cafe, 1835. No. 12, Main Street Grocery, 1890. No.
No.
9, Creektown Pharmacy, 1922.
Ooh. Pharmacy.
But
7 is Burgettsville Post Office. What's 15? What's that weird building right there?
That was built in the
Bar.
20s. What's 6? Burgettsville History Museum, an organization dedicated, and this was built in 1920, an organization dedicated to counseling and preserving town's deep, complicated history. Call to schedule a walking tour of the town today.
Wait, that's the place?
Didn't you say I frankly heard something about something creepy at the museum, right?
Yeah.
They said go back to the
that's what I was
museum.
gonna say. Is that the guy said something about
He said
like?
come to the museum if you have any questions about the past or history.
Well, no. I'm talking about from this.
Somebody, one of
He
those.
said it was
interviews-
creepy, but he also said
heard
that
and
it like it's not. Here we go. He said it's not busy either.
Oh. Yeah, he did say it. Yeah, it wasn't busy.
I say we try these 4 because he was heading back this way. And the white tree, dude, the white tree is
that
next
in
to
front of
6
it?
and 12. I say
What's
we try
number
6 and 12.
What's number 6? I think it's 6.
6 is Burgettsville History Museum.
That would make sense because if you go to the history museum, then he can find out more shit about the
It's
Blair Witch.
gotta be. So he's
finding
heading
out more
left.
stuff about the Blair Witch. If he's
Heading
going to
left
6,
to the tree.
He said too in
If
his
he's-
diary that it was business as usual upstairs.
So what's 12?
Well, no. If he said it's business as usual and it's just like a place that's not really that poppin', it could be this history museum.
Yeah, it
Could be a
could
good
be.
That's what I'm
spot.
saying.
Plus,
Send
plus
this to her
they
right
said they said that come to the history museum if you have questions stuff, and if he has questions, he has a ghost talking to him. He has
I'm
a witch
saying-
talking
I
to him.
sent it.
Try it
I
out.
sent it.
He sent
Try it
to you.
out.
All right. Let's see what he says. That if he's going there, that would make sense.
That's it, boys.
He's in the history museum.
All right.
And we got some
The white
audio.
tree is it.
We got some audio.
So we got the audio. All right,
Let's
fucking
do it.
send it.
Liam was hanging out in the basement of the History Museum. I mean, why? What could have been down there? I'm heading over to take a look right now. It's right down the street from the diner. Could Sheriff Lanning really have missed something so close to his office?
Hey, Anthony? Anthony?
That's weird. The building's unlocked, but he's not here. Maybe he's in the basement. The door's right behind his desk. I'm just going to check. It's not locked or anything.
Anthony? Are you there? If you're down there, I'm coming down now.
Jesus, why is it so cold down here? Okay, there is no way the sheriff searched this. There's way too much stuff crammed in here. I'm gonna be here all night. But I guess the cold air will keep me sharp. Wait. There's a window open back there. That must be where the draft is coming from.
Been in place.
That's where he came from.
Who would leave this open? Wait. This is Liam's handwriting. Liam's been here. Oh my God. This is his pencil case, and there are all kinds of notes. Hold on. What are these? I'm not sure how to describe what I'm seeing to you, but Liam's notes are covered in all kinds of strange markings. And this one is... Oh my God. This handwriting is... This is Hud's. Hud wrote one of these notes. Years ago, it looks like. Before the accident. You need to see this. I'm going to try to find some more evidence, and then I'll send everything over to you. Thank you. Thank you so much. You've just gotten me closer to my son than I have been in months.
Damn. Yooosin on the case.
I just want to point out, guys, look at this right here. Look
What?
at the most detailed house on the map. They have stepping stones. It's old-fashioned. I bet you that's Witch's house. Early prediction.
Early prediction.
There is like a
Early
square in front of it
prediction.
too.
Just because you say it's the early. Well, it's a museum, you said, right? But do you think
Watch.
it's
I'm gonna put the tooth down. She's gonna show.
it starts glowing up, dude. No, dude. Oh, man, that's crazy, dude. They did a really good job with them voicemails and stuff, too.
Oh, that really is 2 buildings down. If you count this as a whole building,
Yeah.
too. I didn't even realize that.
If you count it as a whole. I
Good
suppose.
point.
Yeah, 1, 2.
Yeah, they cheesed us by putting those
They really
numbers
did.
there. Yeah,
They really did.
Damn.
All in all, I mean, that was pretty. It was something different, but
No,
that
it
was
was
pretty
fun.
fun.
Yeah, no, that was a really good first run. And so that's us. That's us on our first step to figuring out where Liam went.
We got
And
5 more.
We got 5 more coming. Next one's in the mail. And if you like what you see, like and subscribe. And we'll be back for the second week right when we unbox it. Right, boys?
Catch you in the next video, guys.